Fran Tobia, and I am here to talk about crisis and what to do about it, because this subject is very fascinating to me. So I want to share with you some of the insights that I have to explain crisis a little bit more to you, so that you'll know how to handle it, and you'll be a wise person when you experience a little bit of crisis in your life. So in the Chinese language, the way they write the word crisis, they write it with two brush strokes. One brush stroke represents danger, and the second brush stroke represents opportunity. So I wanted to share that with you because we can look at crisis and see it as a bad thing, something that shouldn't have happened, something that we regret, something that we get upset about, something that we feel sorry for ourselves about. Or we can see the opposite. We can see the learning experience in the entire thing, and we can see the opportunity for growth. Because whenever something goes wrong, there's an opportunity there to grow and to experience a change, a shift. So I want to discuss the power that flows to and through us. Everything that flows to and through us is neutral. There is no good or bad. It is our perception that creates the way we look at it. So we can look at crisis and we can feel sorry for ourselves. We can get angry. We can start blaming people or ourselves. We can get very, very upset about it and wish it didn't happen. That's one way to do it. But the opposite side of that is to see what the learning experience is in that moment. What is this moment teaching? Because everything that you go through is a teaching experience. It really is. We are here to learn and to grow. And so if you can look at crisis, and instead of feeling sorry for yourself, if you can look at it as a learning experience, you will get so much more out of it. It will really, really help you. And so that's my lesson for today. I also want to mention that it builds character. It also teaches you patience, persistence, grit, and it gives you a lot of wisdom and knowledge. So that's why you want to pursue this in a positive light, to see it as a learning experience. There is plenty to learn when something goes wrong. And every single thing that happens to you, you have a choice. You can be happy about it, or you can be upset about it. It is really your choice. If you want to view the whole world that you live in a positive light, you can, because there is always good in everything that happens, even something that went wrong. So my suggestion is to understand that when the universe is trying to communicate with you and you aren't picking up on the subtle cues, the universe will give you something else that's a little bit harder to deal with, something to get more of your attention. And if you still won't listen, then you will get a third, and it will be very dramatic. And that's the one that usually gets your attention and usually helps you to shift your whole point of view and to take it on as a challenge. I've had many experiences like that, one of which remains on the top of my list. A few years ago, I had an idea that I would have somebody look after a bunch of money that I had, and so that I didn't really have to do anything with my life except just enjoy myself and not really do anything. And the person that was handling the money ended up being not an honest person and ended up mismanaging the funds. And that night, when I found out that the money had been mismanaged, I immediately thought of a couple of things. The first is, I hope this doesn't ruin my marriage. And the second one was, I hope this doesn't affect my health. Those were the two things that came to mind when it happened. And then the third thing that came to mind immediately for me was not to feel sorry for myself or to be angry, but to see it as a learning experience and an opportunity to do something exciting with my life, something that would bring my own happiness and my own income. And so that's what I chose to do. And I decided that night when I found out what had happened, that I someday would look back at that experience and see it as a bump in the road of my life, and to see it as small and as a catalyst for getting me to become my authentic self, to grow and to become the person that I ended up becoming. That's what I decided that night. I decided right then and there that this was going to be the best thing that ever happened to me instead of the worst thing that ever happened to me. And that was a choice I chose to make. I could have perceived the situation in a lot of different ways. I could have been angry. I could have been very, very upset. But instead, I wrote down in my journal 3 whole pages of how I felt. And I decided that night that that was going to be a small bump in the road that was the catalyst that helped me to become the person that I really always wanted to be, but was a little bit afraid to be. And so I ended up using it as a way to turn my life into the version that I really have always wanted. And so I ask all of you to take advantage of the opportunity that you have in any setback in your life. Use it as an opportunity. Use it to teach you a lesson, teach you something to help you to grow. Everything that happens to you for a reason. And you have a couple of options. You can feel sorry for yourself and not get anything out of it and just be angry, or you can get so much out of it. It is your choice. And that's my lesson for you today. Thank you. And this is Fran Tobia again, thanking you for watching. And I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful life. Thank you.